step 5 in my 8-step process to become a QA automation engineer or an SDET engineer. So far, we went over 4 different steps: learning a language, learning testing basics, learning a tool for front-end automation like Selenium WebDriver, learning SQL, which is databases, and finally, to become an automation engineer, you need API testing. Every application we test most likely has a backend, and the backend is most likely API. So when they say API testing, it couldn't be just backend testing because backend is a lot, but mostly it's API. So you got to learn API testing to become a full automation engineer. You know front-end testing, now you're going to know API testing. So just take an API testing course that is specifically to API automation course, right? It's not Postman. A lot of times when you're looking at API automation, somebody's going to show you automating in Postman, but in big companies, I don't think they would automate it in API. If you have like in Postman, if they have complicated logic, you're not going to use Postman, even though knowing Postman is awesome. For me, I use Postman for manually testing how the API works. Then I'll go automate it in a Python framework like PyTest or Robot Framework or something like that. So make sure you choose a course that's teaching you how to automate it, not just in Postman. So APIs is basically how software talk. I have a bunch of videos about what APIs are. It's how two softwares communicate with each other. So you're going to test that communication. When you request information from one server or one application, how does the data comes to you? When you request something, you get a response. How does the response look like? If I request it in a bad way, does it respond correctly? How is that going, right? That's what you're doing when you're doing API testing. So that's going to be part of your journey in becoming an automation engineer. So make sure step 5 is that by now you are an automation engineer. Now after this, you're on your way to become a software engineer in test, which is you know more about software development. You're not just testing, you also know how software works, how deployment works, how to work with CI/CD, how to fix CI/CD and things like that. So step 6 is going to be related to that, related to CI/CD, which is Docker, and we're going to talk about that in the next one. Again, like I always say, if you want somebody to hold your hand and help you become an engineer, check out my stuff. I have one-on-one coaching, I have community and courses and everything you need to know to become an engineer. I have it all in supersqa.com. Check that out. If you want the PDF of this, also is in the description. Make sure you give this video a like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.